Welcome to BlastWizard's List Management demonstration. In this short video demo, I will be showing you how to manage your lists of recipients for your mailings. Before we begin, however, I'd like to quickly point out a few things about this opening screen. This is the screen you'll see when you first log into BlastWizard. It is the jumping off point for all the tasks you'll want to perform while managing your marketing campaigns. The left sidebar contains all of the basic navigation. The top right corner contains your account information along with the My Account link so that you can manage all of your preferences and billing information. And the bottom part of the screen contains the dashboard, which gives you a quick overview of your latest jobs. All of these features and capabilities are covered in other training videos. I'm about to upload and edit a new list of people, so let's get started. We have arrived at the list management page. On this page, I can perform all the functions I need to manage my lists of people. It is important to note that all of the functions here are also available to you while you are scheduling a job. So there are actually two places to manage your lists, here on the list management page, as well as during the Campaign Wizard's job scheduling process. You can see that I already have a number of other lists I have uploaded previously. I am going to upload a new list so you can see how it is done. Before I upload my list, I'm going to quickly show you how I can easily create a new list. Your list can come from a number of different sources as long as the list you upload to us is in comma or tab delimited format. If you don't know what this means, don't worry, I'll show you in a minute. I've opened up Microsoft Excel and I've typed in some information about a few people. Most people have a database or CRM of their customers and prospects and usually export their lists from that to a tab or comma delimited text file. You can see that I have their first names, last names, some demographic information, and their email addresses. I can have as many different people or records as I want and as much information or fields about each person as I want in my list. If I only include one field in my list, however, it obviously needs to be the email address. Any additional information you include can be used later for either personalizing each email message as it goes out or for analyzing the results of a mailing after it's done in the reports section of BlastWizard. One last thing, it's always a good idea to include the field names at the top of your list. This will help you later when you are trying to use the information for personalization or reporting. With my list entered into Excel, I'll now save the file so I can upload it. As I said before, I want to save the file as a comma or tab delimited text file. So the first thing I'll do is click on the Save As Type drop-down menu and choose my file type. You'll notice that Excel lets me save my file in a number of different formats. This is also true of most databases and CRM systems as well. I'll need to scroll down to find the appropriate type. I found the tab delimited file type. A little further down the list is the comma delimited choice. I can use either, so I'll just choose tab delimited. I'll change the name of my file to something I'll remember, and I'll save it to the desktop so I can easily retrieve it. After I click Save, Excel gives me a couple of dialog boxes. The first warns me that using a text file does not support multiple workbook sheets. I need to click OK here to continue to save the file. The second dialog box warns me that saving this data as a text file will not save any formatting or features that Excel workbooks have. I need to click Yes here so that my file will be saved in text format. I've now saved my list of people and I'm ready to upload it into BlastWizard. Back in BlastWizard, I'll click on the Upload New button. To start the upload process, I'll click on the Browse button to locate my file that I saved on the desktop. The Windows File Selection dialog box shows up so that I can select my list. If you are using a Mac, your dialog will look different, but the same ideas apply. I'll just scroll the window to locate my file. I've located the file I saved from Excel, so I'll double-click it and check. As you can see, the path to my file now appears next to the Browse button, with the list name already entered into the list name box. I can change the list name if I choose. It is also a good idea to enter a brief description of the list. Now I'll click Upload to send the list. If your list is particularly long, say hundreds of thousands or even millions of records, this may take some time depending on your internet connection speed. Now I need to tell BlastWizard about my list. There are some things BlastWizard can tell automatically, and others that I need to tell it so that it can use my list properly. The first thing I need to tell BlastWizard is that I included field names in the first line of my file. If you recall, the field names are the names of each column that I said was a good idea to include back when I created my Excel file. Next, I need to state whether the file will be used for sending email, which of course it will be. Finally, I need to tell BlastWizard about the fields that I uploaded. BlastWizard knows about several different kinds of fields. The first field contains the person's first name, so I'll pull down the menu to the appropriate field type. The second field contains the last name, so I'll label that appropriately as well. The third field contains the zip code. The fourth field contains the person's gender. This is my own field, and BlastWizard does not have a special field type for that. That's okay. Although BlastWizard does not have a special field type for every field our customers send, they can still send it and use it in personalization and reporting. I'll just leave this field labeled as undefined. And since I know that BlastWizard does not have a special field for income, I'll leave field 5 labeled as undefined as well. To see my last field, I need to scroll over to the right. My last field is the email address, so I'll just label that one appropriately. I only really need to specify which field is my email address, and I could leave all of the others undefined. But it helps later on for personalization and reporting to be as specific as possible. It also helps if you are using multiple lists from different sources with different field names to tell BlastWizard which field's which so that it can line up the data properly. Having told BlastWizard about my list, I'll click on the Submit button. Back on the Lists page, you can see my newly added list. To view the contents of my list, I can click on the name of the list. Viewing the contents of the list shows you the raw text file. It contains all of the fields you sent, plus a number of additional fields BlastWizard added for its own maintenance purposes. You can easily copy the contents of this page into Excel if you'd like. I can modify or add to my list by clicking the Edit button. The first few records of my file show up for editing. I could add a new record by clicking on the Add New button, or I could delete a record by clicking the checkbox next to the record and then clicking the Delete Selected button. If I do not see the record I want to modify or delete, I can click the narrow search button and I would be able to search for the record in the database. To modify a particular record, I click on the Edit link for that record. The Edit Record page lets me edit all of the fields I previously uploaded. You can see the first name, last name, zip code, gender, income, and email fields I had in the original Excel file at the beginning of this demonstration. I'll just quickly edit the income field for Herkimer and save the rest. That concludes this demonstration. I hope it was informative. Please let us know if there's any other questions you might have about our services. Thank you for your time.